Villa Angela St. Joseph Hall of Fame recognizes the leaders among us, those who embody the mission and values of our tradition and legacy through their amazing accomplishments and outstanding support of Villa Angela St. Joseph High School. Over the years, the Hall of Fame has celebrated our alumni from Villa Angela Academy, St. Joseph High School, and Villa Angela St. Joseph High School. We've honored the dedicated work of our faculty, staff, and coaches who have made it their mission to educate, mentor, and support our students at a pivotal time in their lives. We've also recognized the dedication of our community members who understand the transformative power of a Catholic education. Many of our inductees have achieved incredible success in their respective careers, dedicated their lives to serve other communities, and used their gifts to directly impact the lives of others. Each inductee showcases the endless possibilities that come from passion, hard work, and harnessing God-given talents. In a moment, you'll get to know our incredible class of 2022 Hall of Fame inductees. Each individual has played an integral role in the success of our school and the greater community. They've done more than simply care. They've transformed the lives of others as educators, advocates, coaches, and committed volunteers. On behalf of the entire Villa Angela St. Joseph High School community, we congratulate and say thank you to the 2022 VASJ Hall of Fame class. You are an inspiration, and we are so very proud to call you one of our own.
I'm Ann Hirsch.
I'm Dan DeCreedy.
Kevin Flint.
My name's Thomas Kenny. My nickname is Red.
My name's Bob Mullen.
I'm Sister Susan Zion.
My name is Tom Cuskin.
And my name is Marlene Cuskin.
I have a lot of favorite memories. I don't want to run the tape out. We had dances every Friday night. And to understand that dances, like it was just the boys from St. Joe's, and at that time there was 2,000 boys here. You couldn't be from another school, a boy, a male. Girls from VA, Euclid, wherever, they were always welcome. And the bands we had were, like a Three Dog Night, James Gang, Sly and the Family Stone. You guys are probably like, who's this? But those were big bands. That was their venue back then. So, they were on the radio, and those were great, great Friday nights. I think everybody went to school or went out and went to those.
Villa Angela and St. Joseph lost Amy Sambula. Amy was the student council president at Villa Angela, was absolutely loved by them over there. But Amy, we would argue, as the class of 1970, was the first girl or woman to attend St. Joseph High School. She took a computer class here, and she played in the orchestra. And Amy, unfortunately, was killed on October 22nd of 1969. But the love that came out of that, and what you see as a Catholic as far as how you deal with helping each other, was just incredible. The Youngstown-Ursuline game, which would have been our 8th game of the year, I had the good fortune to play on a very good football team. And we were down in Youngstown, always a tough place to play. And we were on the road, of course, so we needed to win, and we came from behind and we won. And it wasn't the win. It was the celebration of the school afterward. We came back to the school, and we had a mass in this chapel. And it was packed, and the emotion and the energy and the love that you just felt for each other.
Probably the best part was getting to know everybody, and it wasn't a real big school. So we, got to know not only our own class, but the upperclassmen.
Well, I am grateful for my Catholic education and the sacrifices that my mother made so that I could attend Villa Angela Academy.
I loved it. I don't want to say that the academic parts of it were not the highlight. It seemed like a very small part of my day. There was so much different extracurricular stuff. There was always some rallies and intramurals and wrestling and stage crew and student council life. And it seemed like, and I'm sure the classrooms were what really set me up for later success, but I think a lot of the other social and And we were in charge of stuff. And God bless the administration, but they trusted us. I don't know why they would have, but we had keys to everything. And we were here all the time. We kind of lived here for a couple of years, and those were good years.
You know, St. Joseph was a special place. Didn't have much of a choice in coming here or not coming here. I followed my older brothers here, and the camaraderie of the student body, playing sports here. I was a football player and a wrestler on some powerhouse teams that we had back in the 80s. And it was a pleasure to be a student here, enjoying the pep rallies, walking down the hallways on a game prior to a game day, wearing our uniforms and proudly wearing the school's colors. Overall, just the friendships that we came away with from being here at the school.
Yeah, I started here in '60, coming to summer school for English before my freshman year, which was nice. But when we got here, just so many boys. I mean, like, the halls were full. We had almost 2,000 boys, you know, and just changing classes and everything, and meeting a lot, because I was from the inner city off of 49th Street, so I had to take 2 buses to get here. And it was just meeting all the different guys in my classes, from homerooms to classes, and become good friends with them.
Things were you involved in at high school? And I thought, I don't remember that. That was 58 years ago. Oh. Luckily, I saw it in my yearbook, and I thought, oh. I showed my husband. He goes, so what's CVS? I go, I don't even know, or CSV or whatever it was. I said, I don't know, but there I was involved.
I coach running backs. I've coached all over, but this particular student athlete, came with me because he couldn't catch a football. He wasn't fast, wasn't big enough to block, or, you know, I called him Whip, work in progress, you know, and he worked, and he come and work. Not a big kid, and not athletic at all, but he came every day. His senior year, he wanted to quit because he wasn't going to play, unless we were rowdy somebody or it's the other way around. And he stayed and got in a game. We lost in the semifinals, and by the end, parents said, we know why our son loved you. And he still calls me to this day. He graduated from college. I mean, he wasn't an athlete at all, but he stayed for that 4 years, persevered. And he said it helped him get through, not me, staying, helped him get through college.
There was a moment, I would say in the early to mid 2000s, the school's enrollment was quite low, and we had student athletes that needed attention. They needed rides to and from workouts. Lifts, on the way home, and there were several athletes back then that I can think of. Prince Foster being one. There were athletes that it was a pleasure to help them out because they seemed to need the help, and they couldn't always get a ride to school or to a tournament. We would pick guys up quite often, but there's so many. I had 3 sectional championship teams in a row, and those boys can't be named because there's too many to list. But we had a lot of fun back then, and we're continuing to have that same fun.
It's about whether it's, in this case, it was St. Joseph High School, whether it's a place I worked. I had the opportunity to work in the Tampa Police Department. That was a team. I worked for First Energy Corporation. Again, that's a team. It's about the people. It's never about one person, and it's about working towards a goal. And our goal back then for this school was just be the best we could be at everything. And we worked hard to do it.
The women from 67, from the class of 67, are supporters of Ursuline Piazza. They volunteer. If I have a client that needs something special and I don't have it, all I have to do is put out the word and they come through. We meet almost every month. So I've had, friends of a lifetime.
And I hear all this laughing and talking and having so much fun, and I turn around and I see all these kids going to St. Joe's, and it's every kind of kid, every color, every height, every shape. And were they having the best time? They were just enjoying themselves. And I thought, I think this is what God wanted. In fact, I think I even came home and told Tom, he won't remember that, though. And it made me think of a song that, now I'm really going to date myself, Mama Cass Elliot had in the 70s. It's called A New World Coming. And the lyric is, there's a new world coming, one that I had visions of, coming in peace, coming in joy, coming in love. And that's what I think Catholic schools are: peace, joy, and love. I think VASJ is a great example of that: peace, joy, love.
I think you need to find some balance, and everybody knows that. And there's balance in everything you do. You know, your work-life balance, your sad, happy balance. You know, going through this journal, there were rough days, and I'm amazed at how honest I was with my journal. And I could go back to those days, but if I stayed there, geez, I'd be pretty mopey. You need to find your happy, and I have. I married well. I got a good group of people I hang out with. You know, my family's really a joy and functional, and we're you got to get on with things too. So, but sad happens for sure. We all have loss. We've all had tragedies, but how do you deal with them, and resilience, and that was all the stuff growing up that either set you up on a course for success, and we all know people who failed at this, you know, with whatever path they took.
Well, both my husband and I were both educated in a Christian setting, and definitely I wanted them to have a Catholic education. And we're still in the neighborhood, so it was easy to get here and be involved. Both of my husband and I came from parents that volunteered, so it was just like you kept on going. And by volunteering, you get to know a lot of the parents and the other children too, so it's kind of a win-win. Well, I'd like to see everyone have the same opportunities that my husband and I had. And so it helps to help them.
It's pretty awesome to think that VASJ is inducting me into their Hall of Fame. Never did I ever think about that I would, be there. But I know that it's because of the support. I wouldn't be here without the support of my congregation, my family, my friends, and especially the class of 67.
I can't tell you in words. I don't know, because I still haven't come to terms with that. It's like, I'm not kidding you. I mean, I was a good person, but I fooled around a lot. I just associated, the Hall of Fame wasn't in existence when I went here. But the people that are up there all did great things. I don't see that. I'm doing something I liked. I almost feel like every kid I coach should be with me right here, because I coached them and I loved it. It was my privilege. You can't put them all in, but I got in because I was doing something I really liked.
We had nominations before us, and then we talked about it. We would always try to get so many VA, so many St. Joe's, Marianist, Ursuline. So it was like, who do we put in this year? Who do we put in this? And our name came up a couple of times.
Well,
and I pulled it.
Yeah, we declined it.
We
didn't
thought,
think
it's not.
They thought more people were
more worthy. Like, we're really humbled by that. I was shocked by this. I said to Tom, we really didn't. We volunteered at time, but I liked doing that. It wasn't a painful experience. So, yeah, it's kind of strange.
Yeah, because we saw Tom Red Kenny at Shane's funeral wake, and he says that when he was asked, he says, "No, I don't want it," and everything. But he says, "I'm sorry, you're in already. It's not like you're up for it. You're in." We felt the same way too.
It was always very easy for me to be a part of the Viking Village, coaching here. Very passionate about the school. It did so much for me and my classmates and my best friends. It's been an honor for me to work here and contribute and help out at my alma mater. It was always very easy for me to want to try to help kids and try to make their experience as fun as mine was and as enjoyable as mine was. So in that regard, of course, I'm proud to be, inducted into the school's Hall of Fame. It was because I've had so many great families, assistant coaches, so many great student athletes that made it fun and made it enjoyable. And I'm honored to be inducted in the school's Hall of Fame.
I think it's fabulous. Thanks, you guys. I kind of spoke to how pride is the deadly sin to be avoided, but I don't know if I really buy it because I'm really proud of this. I know my folks would be proud of this. I know my family's proud of this. My friends, calling me. It's neat. I got this warm fuzzy thing going. So thanks. I'm really happy that we're doing this.
I am very humbled because I, of course, don't think that I'm sure there's somebody that deserved it more than I did, but I'm very grateful and excited.
It makes me feel good. But having said that to you, it's my class. My class deserves the honor with me. It's not me. There's no I, no me. It's we, and it's the class of 1970, the best of the best.